love song. I want to know what love is, and I want you to show me. How many people know that song? I want you to show me. So I'm going to adapt this to teach us to emphasize collaboration but not competition. So I'm going to sing my own version of it, which is, I want to know how to collaborate, and I know you can show me. Oh, I want to know how to not to compete, my friend, and I hope you can teach me. So let's sing it together. Sing it to the person sitting beside you. I want to learn how to collaborate, my friend. I know you can show me. I want to know how to compete, and I know you can teach me. That's the theme for today. So if you forget anything I've said today, please don't forget that. So in my own situation, one of the ways that I learned how to collaborate is podcasting. We had a meeting of that from the previous session, and the person as well is even considering doing the podcast. Hi, how many people have a podcast here? You have podcasts like 3? Okay. How many people is planning to have a podcast? There are more people. How many people don't like people who do podcasts? Nobody. That's good. I'm the safe zone. So, during the pandemic, one of the ways that I tried to interact with the community, because everything was shut down, there was stress, and all this going on. And I got an opportunity from the school where I was to be able to interact with people, and I was in a group, I was helping with motivation and laughter, in which case I had to interact with people. Then I decided to start a podcast. But then I was faced with the problem that everybody was facing then. How do I start? The way I started, I went to my high school group. And this person here was in the high school group. We went to the same high school. We have the same problem. He wants to go into politics. He's trying to get himself out there. I want to do podcasts. So I said, well, why not use my platform to start from somewhere? We have first in common. So that's how I started. I didn't know what I was doing. As you can see, even from this, I could have removed it, but I didn't remove it. I just started anyhow. I just started. So the first lesson is just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. It's okay. You're gonna learn. You're gonna see how I learn as I go. So, if you guys, for people who have, can you open the paper you have? Did everybody have a paper right here? Alright, if you didn't have a paper, please pick one here. You have one there? Alright, so how many people are in group 1? Did anyone want to pick one? You pick one? Alright, so 1. So people that are on, can you stand up? So I want you to tell me, do you have any question on building a community, or do you have anything to share with us? Building a community, what does that mean to you?
Building community?
Yes.
It's like coming together with other people and developing something.
Yeah.
Community. Connection.
Just networking, getting to know people, what they do, where they are.
Good.
Bringing together a group of like-minded people.
Good.
Well, we try to bring like-minded people together, but sometimes we have diverse people that we have to bring in to our group also.
Good, thank you. Please start for that. Now, the next person I tried to talk to was also from Nigeria. This is easier to talk to people who we are from and to connect with. It's just the way life is, right? So he also started a podcast. And one of the things that happened is he invited me to his own podcast. So the lesson to it is that although you think you want to, you have the pressure of presenting yourself as somebody who know it all. You don't know it all as a fact. But there's something that you know that somebody is willing to learn. So he invited me to his own podcast to talk about education and leadership. Yeah, because I have a PhD. Many people want to listen to what I have to say. until I open my mouth and it's like, oh, this person don't know anything. that's just the real. Yeah. So I was on his own podcast, so we started a good relationship from that. And that is just a group two. Who are the group two? If you have two with you, would you please stand up? All right. What does customer service mean to you? And do you have any experience, short experience, or anything? Or you have a question to ask about that?
What is customer service?
Yes.
Customer service is serving customers that want or need what you have to offer. And it's also receiving goods or services from people who can help you in some way.
Good. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Customer service is about how do we manage how do we impact the customer experience. Often when people think about customer service, they think it's about the customer being right most of the time. In reality, it's about how are we navigating the customer experience with your business or with interaction that's going on. So to me, that's important. How do you navigate that experience and what's the outcome you get at the end of the day?
Good. Thank you so much. So this podcast session was really important because it happened during the pandemic. Everybody lost their job. And his own title was Selling in Crisis. And we talked about how it's possible to connect with people even though it's difficult time. People still need certain services even from their home. So you can think about the services you can run. And the emphasis was to make sure that you just don't focus on the now. You also think about the future. Building a relationship with the person, not just trying to call somebody and say, I want to sell something to you. People know that you're only calling them to sell something. That's not it. Then my next guest was Mr. Aweigh. This is also from Nigeria, like I said. Think about people within your group, where you come from. If you are from Bahamas, people from Bahamas will probably want to talk to you than people from here. That's the truth. We don't know how we humans do it, but it's the truth. So we talked about increasing productivity and how that can help during the pandemic. Now, group three. Anybody with three? Yes, yes. Thank you. Do you have any question on increasing productivity, or do you want to share anything on increasing productivity?
Increasing productivity. As a business owner, my day-to-day is to be productive. And how do I go about achieving those productivity? It's about preparing. So I constantly prepare what it is that I want to achieve and what I want to relate to my staff as it relates to what the mission or the goal is for that particular day or a particular week. For me, Monday is my day of forecasting my entire week. So I look at every aspect of the businesses and to see now, okay, so how we want to move from this today to the end of the week, and then keep moving in that direction week after week. So I try to make things that we can obtain or we can achieve during the course of the day. Try to be realistic. Like Denzel Washington said, don't confuse movement with progress. You're moving and progressing. So I try to make sure that my movement is progressive and productivity from it.
Good, thank you so much. You're also in group three?
Yes.
Please, go ahead.
This increasing productivity can be challenging at times because distractions. And if you prepare your agenda and you don't follow your agenda, you can end up doing something else. It happens to me many times. And I try to avoid distractions, and sometimes it's hard because of customers. And customers service is also customer love. You have to love your customers even if they are challenging.
Customer is always right. That's what I say.
It used to be, not anymore. But you have to love them, no matter what. And to increase productivity, what I have found is like stay focused on your agenda for that day, for that week, for that month, and eliminate distractions.
Good. Good. Thank you so much. The next guest that I got, what did you notice? Is there any change from all the previous slides to this point? What changed?
Oh, I don't know about that. Not from Nigeria.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
He's not from Nigeria.
It's not from Nigeria. It's actually from Nigeria,
Oh,
but
he
different
is.
parts of Nigeria. Well, you know the difference, right? So those two people are from the same state. He's from a different state. But still Nigeria. So thank you so much. What changed from the previous slides to this point?
The presentation. Presentation of.
Yes, the flyer changed. That's what branding. So I sent an email to you. I want to invite you to be a part. Just told me, yes, let's make a flyer better. That's what he told me. That's why I started thinking about branding. And that's why we also talk about branding and business. Like, so you can see that the flyer is way better. I'm not making the mistake I made at the beginning with my name. I liked it. I'm not removing that. It's a little bit better. It's more presentable, right? Branding is what we discussed. I don't want to go into details of that because I know you guys do better than me anyways. I'm trying to learn from you guys. So, group 4. Is there anybody with thoughts there? Please go ahead. So do you have any question on branding, or do you want to share anything with us based on, so the picture is also to stimulate you to think about something. I hope it's helpful. So do you want to share anything?
But when I see it, it's a whole lot on the presentation there. But branding means that, and of course there are some brands that, like Nike and even Publix, and there's some brands that when you see them, you don't have to say much. Like Nike says, just do it. But branding is sometimes you have to reinvent yourself. And once you have an iconic brand, though, people know it. And when this gentleman here, Mr. Rowe, and I see Toastmasters International, like that just pops, That's a brand right there. And so hopefully your brand is one that people gravitate to. And that's what I would have to say.
Thank you so much. You also, you have that?
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
I was on the slide. To me, branding is who you are, who you work. When you're gonna put yourself on the market, you wanna make sure that everybody knows who you are and what your product is. And you should have something that is catching about your brand that will draw them into your business, your service, whatever it is. It is really advertising yourself, putting yourself on the market and capturing the attention of near and far.
Good. Thank you. I think one of the mistakes we make in life is to say, well, I don't have a business, I don't sell something, why should I think about branding? You're making a mistake because you're a brand yourself. People see you, there are people who see me and think about certain things, I don't know whether it's good or bad. Yeah, and there are people who see you, they think about certain things, it's either good or bad. You really know. So the best thing you want to do is always put our foot forward, dress nicely, as Mr. Andrew. So that when they see it's a respectable man, it's a gentleman. Even if it's not a gentleman, it looks like a gentleman. That's what branding does.
So let me just mention, I know you talked about branding, like strategy, logo, marketing, and so forth. Because the brand, you can always advertise, but if your value system is not strong and you trust, people don't trust you,
It's
it
always.
goes by the wayside.
That leads me to the question. When you think about branding, which organization comes to your mind? What company?
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters. Right, that's what we're here. It's Saturday, right? You can do a party on your bed, some of your friends and family are probably still sleeping at this time, but we're here because we believe in the brand.
Yes.
I just mentioned, I got a pen with Toastmaster logo lights up. I mean,
Wow.
is that branding or what?
That's good branding. So think about it as you leave. Think about the organizations that you really love and what they do about their branding, and see if you can use such things that they're doing in your own life or in your business, because that's going to be a game changer. Next test. What can you notice about this thing? The person is still from what? Nigeria, because you can connect people there. But one of the things that I learned from this session is I use StreamYard. That's the platform I use. And on StreamYard, I linked it with Facebook. And during this session, we were supposed to allow people to comment. And we discovered that nobody was commenting because the privacy settings was there. I was supposed to make it public. And she started texting me. People were texting her. They were trying to be on the screen. I'm like, yo, what do you mean? It's public. And I had to go and check and make sure that I put it public. So I missed that. So from there, I knew that every session I have to go back to Facebook to change my privacy settings from private to public. If I don't do that, nobody's going to see what's going on. So always technology, just like I was pressing something up. I was here sitting at the back there on the floor. I came on time, but technology couldn't want it. So like, you can do everything right, and technology can mess you up. So I always try to learn something about that, and that's the lesson from this. Group 5. Anybody group 5 today? So, what do you guys think about business ownership? Do you have a question about that, or do you have anything to share?
And business ownership?
Yes.
I love that. I do have a podcast, and he is absolutely right on everything he says, especially the agenda. It always does change. And I used to have a radio show on some major markets back 20 years ago. And through business ownership, being able to have to be charged of everything, getting the guest on, as I had 6 hours and I had 6 guests in each hour with a different topic. It was positive talk radio. And through that is just, if it fails, learn how to just have a topic ready. That's why Toastmasters is great, that you can talk about while you're waiting for your engineer or somebody to get the guest on. But own yourself. I say do it. Test it. You have a podcast. I was spending $10,000 on radio equipment and having it done. Zoom? Are you kidding? $16 a month? And you have a podcast you can push record and put it on YouTube. I mean, why wasn't it there last year, 20 years ago? But I would just say with business ownership, do it. Just do it. Find topics. He, out of Nigeria, find a relationship with somebody or a theme or a topic and just run with it. Even if you don't know, why do these traveler blogs? They don't know these cities, but they still blog on it and Zoom on it, and they're making Google bucks because no advertisers want to be part of that. So, did I answer that okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Business ownership, I see as we always in some type of ship, friendship, and so when you're an owner, you have to own the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in the business, you can't point fingers when you're the owner. Because once you point fingers, you have 4 more heading back to you. So you point it, and so as the owner, you have to own everything. Even if it's the employers or the customers, everything goes back to you, where you have to go back to the drawing board and continue whatever you have to focus on or tweak it, and not take it personal when someone gives you advice or someone gives you, criticism. So ownership is a big shit to follow, and it's an identity. Once you do that identity from worker to ownership, you're basically rising up to another level.
Sure. Thank you.
My view on business ownership, first of all, is you have to be careful who you go in business with. You just can't pick any Joe Blow and say, well, let's do this, let's do that. I had that experience. And you have to have partners that are on the same page you're on. You know, and it's good to have people going in different directions, because I had a selling hats. My head was bigger than hers. So she had a small head, so when we go look for hats, I can pick on the I can measure the larger ones and she can do the small, so it works. But you have to be on the same page to have a good business. And then you own it. You own it because everyone is on the same page and you're moving in the same direction. You don't want to have friction because the business doesn't grow. And then there's no integrity there. No one trusts anyone. Your idea is better than my idea. And so there's always a combat relationship. So when you business ownership, know who you're going to business with.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to better.
Good. Thank you so much. Where are you from?
And this is something I was taught, so I'm going to feedback on this one, which says that if you own a business, then your assets and your liabilities really become your assets, because once you run to the man, there's a business owner that's good for it.
Wow, that's good to know. That's a little bit on the positive side. So everybody saw, yeah, do this, you have to do this, and I'm like, what's the benefit of being a business owner? But I also want to say something. Recently, I was talking to one of my accomplished professors from my university when I was doing my PhD. And she said, even though she's accomplished, she said, your job is what they pay you to forget about your dream. I couldn't sleep very well when I got home. The fact that there's a level of freedom, a level of just happiness that comes with the fact that you do something by yourself, it's your initiative and you're making money from things. So that's something we all have to think about. Then I moved to Jamaica, as you can see. I moved a little bit from Nigeria, started to discuss with people. And one of the things that I learned from this session was the spiritual part of it. And one of the sessions, she actually told me, can we pray before we start the session? I'm like, why not? Spirituality. I was born in church. I didn't have option not to go to church. My mom made sure I go to church every day. So I was really willing to embrace that. That's part of just knowing that there are certain things that you can control, and certain things you cannot control. Some people just use prayer to control things that's not within their control. It's something to think about. Now we talked about transformational leadership. Alright, so my group one again. Can you please stand up? Group one? Number one? If you guys hear the word transformational leadership, what comes to your mind? I have two slides for you guys. This or this? Whichever one you guys prefer. Anybody wants to share something? Transformational leadership. What does that mean? This is one slide, this is another slide. Or do you have any question about it?
Well, for transformational leadership, I'm thinking that you're evolving, you're getting better and better. You're going from one level to the next in your leadership. And there are a lot of changes, positive changes for you and also the people that you are working with.
That's interesting. Now you're not just thinking about yourself anymore. Excuse me. You're thinking about the impact that you're making. Any other person wants to share something on transformation?
I think of transformational leadership as opposed to transactional or traditional, is that transformation means we're moving, we're changing, we're becoming something else, and hopefully something else more positive.
Yes.
And when I hear transformational leadership, I also think of servant leadership, that in order to transform then you need to give
Yes.
of yourself. So, those are things.
Thank you. Any
Transformational, helping others to change their mindset, reprogramming, their subconscious depending on what's going on. For instance, I have a holistic health group where I help women to lose weight and keep it off. There's a transformation that happens throughout the 90 days that we're together. They start off one way, thinking one way, and by the time we're finished, they're thinking differently about their health. That's transformation.
Yeah. So you're transforming life.
Yes.
That's you're empowering people.
Empowering,
That's,
yes.
how do you feel when you wake up in the morning and know that you have the opportunity to do that?
It feels good.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. You got
For me, transformational leadership started for me through a visionary when I became president of my club. I had visions that no one else had before, and just transformed the group. Period.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Then I met another lady, and I moved a little bit from just the normal thing. This conversation is way beyond the normal conversation. I knew she had a lot of challenges that she overcome. She has 5 kids, and